You know, somebody said that insight is when a man looks within himself to look for strength. Hindsight is when people look back. Foresight is when people look forward. But true sight is seeing the way Jesus sees things. It's the way God sees things. And if you can look at things from God's perspective, that's true vision. Well, you know, in these last days when nothing seems to be certain, what people are really looking for is hope in life. And Jesus offers true hope. Now in Psalm 26 and verse 8, David said these words. He said, "Lord, I love the habitation of your house, the place where your glory dwells." Being a Cornerstone church, what we really want most of all is to be a dwelling place for the presence of God. We want people to walk into church and realize the church is full of His presence. And this is truly our desire, to see Cornerstone Church a place where His presence would dwell and the glory of God would be manifested. Well, who could ever forget the first service? 4th of February in 1990, 120 of us gathered in a very small little room in a now defunct Duke's Hotel. It was a moment to remember. In 1995, Cornerstone was birthed. Bedok Christian Center became Cornerstone Community Church. By that time, the church had become about 500 people. So, you know, it was just a very natural transition from an Anglican church to a Pentecostal church. We just realized that God was calling us in a different season as a local church.
Pastor Young himself, he is so passionate about Jesus, and that touches us, and it encourages us to follow suit and to be just as passionate about Jesus.
Well, I remember that the first Sunday I came and I was sitting there and enjoying the praise and worship, and I was tearing uncontrollably, and I knew that the anointing was so strong and the presence of God was so strong, and almost few weeks I've been just tearing every time that the praise and worship.
One thing God has really blessed me with is joy, and ever since I've encountered God, I've just got joy and joy overflowing. And even though sometimes circumstances are just not very nice, and seasons are tough and unpleasant, and God and His presence is so tangible in my life, and when I go out, even though I'm by myself, it feels like I'm with someone else, and I'm really thankful for that.
Serving has given me real fulfillment because we're being given so much in church from the Word through worship, and we don't just want to keep it to ourselves. We need to give it out and show people the love of God. Whether it's from a handshake, whether it's from giving a newsletter, whether it's at the visitors lounge, whatever we do, to be excellent in that so that they feel the love of God, they feel a part of the church, and that's very important.
I think God has given me a gift with children. Therefore, I want to be able to serve in the Sunday school, teach the children, be with the children as they grow. So that to me is a way of serving.
Even this journey of being in ministry, it really helps me to know God in a whole new way, in such a deeper measure. God doesn't put labels on you, and God just loves people and just shows me His heart. And as I read the words, that's really what comes to me.
When we first began the church, the vision that God clearly gave to us was that He wanted us to be a mission-sending church. Over the last 20 years, we send mission teams, profiling teams, preaching teams, hundreds and hundreds of teams all across the world. We're going to see Cornerstone in many, many different nations. That's where I see God taking the church. And Jesus said this. He said, "The greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, strength, and soul." And then He said, the second great commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. And really, this is what Cornerstone is all about. It's first of all to have a passion for the living God. It's to love the Lord our God with all our heart, mind, strength, soul. And then to love those that God has sent to us and to love the world as well.